What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and today we're going to talk about a slightly upsetting topic going around right now over the last 24 hours or so in the Madden community, is because they've been releasing all of these game changer videos, which, oh my god, I just want to be a part of them. It's so easy. They require no creativity. You just tell and show off new stuff in Madden, and you make like, you know, $1,000 a video. Come on! I want that, EA! But, anyways, while we wait for that to happen, the relocation teams, the relocation situation in franchise. It rhymes. That'd be a good title of this video. Basically, there's been a couple different people, game changers, releasing content showing all of the new relocation we'll rewind that. No, there's no new. All of the relocation teams in franchise mode. They're all the same. The exact same teams, the exact same names, the exact same jerseys. Now, 2-3 weeks ago, I posted a video with a little screenshot that showed a brand new team logo and a team name, but we did know it was coming from Madden Ultimate Team, and I already said it was kind of like my hidden UFO footage. You know, some grainy little thing that probably was never going to be what we wanted it to be, but we could dream, and we thought that it was going to be a relocation team, and I went through all the new relocation cities I think would be awesome to have in the game, and you know, it's one of those things constantly. We've talked about probably new relocation teams 2 or 3 times on the channel for the last 2 Madden games, and it's definitely a requested feature. And the fact that there is once again another year where there's nothing, no new additions, no new jerseys, no new names, it's frustrating. It's a little frustrating, and I definitely get that sentiment from the community that people are very upset with EA about this, very upset with the franchise mode guys about this, because at its core, at face value, it looks like they're being lazy. It looks like they're not putting any effort into the relocation thing. I know, like, you know, guys like myself, guys more obviously like Parent Crow, that's probably his most famous thing, is the relocation rebuilds. It's not fun having these same type of selections every single year. And hell, for me, I don't know what franchise mode I'm going to do in Madden 19, because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I'm thinking about maybe doing the Toronto Huskies. That's one of my most famous franchise modes. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do yet. I'll probably at some point do a little video, get you guys to vote on that. But, you know, going the relocation approach is something that is pretty favorable for a lot of people, because it lets you have your own little world. It lets you have your own little league and establish your brand new teams. And seeing that aspect of franchise mode constantly be the exact same every single year is very frustrating. Now, there's been some light to it. I know there's a lot of features that people want direct answers from Madden and the developers that we don't quite get. But I find, like, this year, I'm probably gonna butcher his name, Ben Howmiller. I've never heard of this guy before until now. I followed him on Twitter because he's given a bunch of good information. He was the guy that said we can't have offensive and defensive coordinators, essentially the coaching carousel, because they don't have the contract with the OCs and DCs like they do with the head coaches. And I was like, well, that might not be the answer you want to hear. That might not be the answer that goes into detail that fully explains it, but it's at least an answer, and there's some communication there. And in a full interview on Operation Sports, they asked the question, any change to the relocation cities and uniforms? Can we pick different team name if we relocate to Vegas? Ben replied, no changes to relocation or any of those fictitious uniforms. We do have the new authentic uniforms coming in. We work with the NFL very closely, and they tell us what can and can't be in the game. And in regards to choosing Vegas nicknames, they wanted us to just leave it as is until the Raiders are actually there. Now, the middle of that is the biggest part of this. The NFL works very closely with them and tells them what can and can't be in the game. So we already know that in the exclusivity rights, the reason that EA gets to have a Madden game, there's no more 2K, that the NFL basically said no more creative team, no more creative jersey type functions, because we want to protect the integrity of our brand. We don't want people making pink Raider uniforms, which I think was like the example when this news story broke a bunch of years ago. And I was like, all right, that kind of makes sense. Also kind of ridiculous in the same breath. But clearly the NFL is saying we don't want you to add any more cities. We don't want you to add any new teams. And I think the honest comes to the NFL. A lot of the things that we want to try and complain about don't go directly at EA. They kind of have their hands tied. Do they want to make the best possible customizable game and all that stuff? Yes. Do they also want the exclusivity rights for Madden? Way more yes. So that's always going to be the balance, and things are going to have to give to appease the NFL. And unfortunately, that means the NFL said, nah, we don't want any more relocation cities. Now, something that, you know, to show that I'm not just trying to be, oh, C4 is going PC and wants to try to get in the good books of Madden, this and that. Nah, I keep it 100. I think the fact that they haven't added new jerseys is pretty lazy. I don't think that the NFL will be saying you can or cannot have these custom jerseys for these teams that do not exist. I can see the cities maybe being a little bit of a hot button issue because, you know, certain owners don't want, you know, for example, if the Philadelphia Eagles they said, well, I don't want other teams from Philadelphia being played in Madden. I don't want there to be another Pennsylvania, you know, a Harrisburg hamsters. I don't want the Harrisburg hamsters. There's too many teams in Pennsylvania. I do not want that. That's probably along the lines of why they can't add new cities, but not updating the jerseys, not adding maybe 2 or 3 new uniforms to the said established teams. I want the Toronto Huskies maybe add a completely 3 new jerseys. Maybe add just 1 new jersey. Maybe give all the relocation teams special color rush. Well, I know color rush doesn't exist anymore, but you know what I'm saying? A special alternate jersey or something along those lines. I think that's definitely something that could be addressed, but I feel like Madden's like, well, if we can't really add in new cities and stuff, we might as well just keep everything as is. And so, you know, no changes, no risk of having bugs or anything like that by going in and implementing new jerseys. So I think from that standpoint, on the fact that they haven't updated anything or made the logos a little bit crisper or anything like that, that's totally on Madden. But ultimately, the reason why there's no relocation teams that are brand new for Madden 19 is because of the NFL, and that is where you need to direct your fury, your rage towards, not onto the Madden developers. So there you go, guys. That's just my take on this. God, I wish I was a game changer and I could be showing you guys some really easy Madden 19 content, but that's maybe next year. Fingers crossed. Hopefully Not the Expert puts in a good word for me. So thank you guys for watching. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section below how you feel about the relocations in Madden 19. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace